Long ago, in a town near the great river where people gathered under the baobab tree to share stories, there lived a young woman named Amora. She was a woman of striking beauty, her skin smooth as palm oil, her smile bright as the rising sun, and her laughter sweet enough to soften even the hardest of hearts. Wherever Amora went, people stopped to look at her, and men followed her like bees chasing honey. But the elders of the town often said, "Beauty without wisdom is like a fine calabash filled with poison." Amora had beauty, but she lacked wisdom. While the people of the town worked hard in their farms, sold their goods in the market, wove baskets, pounded yam, and fetched water, Amora lived differently. She did not trade, she did not farm, she did not weave. Instead, she lived for pleasure. She loved music, she loved dancing, she loved parties, and she loved the company of men who could give her gifts. Many men desired her, and Amora gave herself to them freely, caring little about tomorrow. Some admired her, some envied her, and others pitied her. But the elders shook their heads and said, "The young who refuse to listen will one day learn from the fire of their own mistakes." Amora never listened. As time passed, the men who once admired her beauty began to leave her. Her gifts became fewer, her friends scattered, and her life turned sour. Then, as if the heavens themselves had turned their backs on her, she fell into a strange weakness. Her body lost its glow, her laughter became faint, and her steps grew heavy. She would sit by herself in the evenings, staring into the night, feeling bitterness rise in her heart. She thought of the many men she had been with and asked herself, "Which one of them brought me to this?" But the answer never came, and her anger grew like fire in dry grass. Instead of humbling herself, Amora allowed bitterness to consume her. She said to herself, "If my life is ruined, then I will ruin the lives of others. If my joy has turned to sorrow, then let many also taste my sorrow." One night, while the moon was high and the crickets sang, she thought of a way to bring her plan to life. She thought of a trade she could do, something everyone loved, something that would bring people to her willingly. Then her mind rested on zobo drink. Zobo was the pride of the people. It was red like the setting sun, made from hibiscus leaves, flavored with ginger, pineapple, and sugar. Men drank it after long days of work. Women served it during gatherings. Children enjoyed it with puff-puff and akara. Everyone loved zobo. Amora smiled in the darkness and said to herself, "Yes, I will sell zobo. They will come to me happily, but they will carry away my sorrow." The very next day, Amora went to the market. She bought hibiscus leaves, sugar, ginger, and pineapple. She returned home, washed her calabash pots, lit her fire, and boiled the drink. The sweet fragrance filled her home, and neighbors passing by said, "Amora, this zobo smells sweet. You will be rich." She smiled at them, but in her heart she whispered, "This zobo will not only quench thirst, it will spread my bitterness." When the zobo was ready, she poured it into bottles, and before sealing them, she mixed something from her body into it. Then she laughed quietly to herself, saying, "If my blood is bitter, let them also drink my bitterness." The next morning she carried her bottles to the marketplace. People rushed to her store. They praised her, they smiled at her, they gave her money. "Give me 2 bottles," shouted one man. "My children love zobo, give me 3, said a woman. Amora sold and sold, her hands moving fast, her heart full of dark joy. Her drink spread quickly through the town. Everyone loved Amora's zobo, and they told others to buy from her. She became busy, making more bottles every night and selling out every day. But soon the town began to change. Slowly, people started to fall ill. Children who once ran freely in the fields became weak. Women complained of endless fevers. Men found their bodies wasting away. Confusion filled the air. Some said, "Perhaps the gods are angry with us." Others said, "Perhaps a curse has entered the land." Fear spread, but no one suspected Amora and her sweet red drink. One evening, a young man named Chike, who often bought from her, came to her house. As he entered, he saw her quickly hide something behind her back while stirring the pot. Her hands trembled, and her eyes darted around nervously. Chike pretended not to notice, but suspicion filled his heart. That night, instead of going home, he hid nearby and watched. The moon shone bright, and from his hiding place he saw clearly as Amora, after preparing the zobo, mixed something strange into the bottles. She stirred it slowly, smiling to herself, and whispered, "Now they will taste my pain." Chike's heart pounded like a drum. Sweat poured down his face as he realized what was happening. At dawn, he ran to the elders. Breathless, he told them what he had seen. "Amora is the cause of our suffering. She is poisoning us with her zobo." The elders wasted no time. They gathered the town guards and marched to Amora's house. There, they found her preparing another batch of zobo. They searched her home and found the evidence of her wickedness. The people gathered, and when they heard the truth, they shouted in anger. "So this is why our children are sick," they cried. "This is why our families are weak. This is the curse that has troubled our land." The guards poured all her bottles into the ground, and Amora was taken away. From that day, her name was no longer spoken with beauty but with hatred and sorrow. The drink that once brought joy had become the drink of bitterness. And so, my children, remember the story of Amora. Not every smiling face has good intentions. Not every sweet drink is safe to consume. The elders always say, "A stranger may sell you sweetness, but inside it may carry bitterness." Be careful what you buy. Be careful what you drink. For life is precious, and evil often hides in simple things. It is better to drink plain water from your clay pot than to trust the unknown drink from the marketplace. This is the story of Amora, the woman whose bitterness poisoned her people, and may it remind us all that the choices we make in anger can destroy not only sick also the innocent. Thank you for listening to this story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and tell me in the comments what you liked most about this tale. Until next time, stay wise and stay safe.